All right, welcome to Neurotic News. The first time we're doing it in person that I can think of.
Yeah, it's never been done.
It's never been done. It's
Yeah.
a lot easier in person, isn't it, than
Oh,
over Zoom? Um, I was just in Tasmania doing gigs in Hobart and Launceston, and some of the pre-gig, like I was waiting pre-gig, like eating on my own, and a woman just started talking to me. And I told her that I was doing stand-up and stuff. You know, when people find out that you're a comedian, they feel the urge to be funny.
yeah.
And she told a story about how she got raped by an emu.
Right.
Yeah, that's a true. Like, she said that she got chased down by an emu, and then it, like, tried to fuck her and came on her back.
Jesus Christ. So that would be like what she'd open with if she was doing it.
Yeah. That would be her opening bit. She's like, "This is the best bit I've got."
So she's like auditioning, like
Yeah,
just seeing
yeah.
like, could this work?
Yeah. She's like, "Oh, I've got a story for you," and that was her story. That she touched the glands on the side of it, and it got aroused and chased her down.
Did she wait for like a reaction? Like,
She didn't do it on purpose. She touched the spot in an emu, and it tried to fuck her. Anyway,
she touched his G spot.
on the side of the emu's neck.
So emus are like they're like proper animals, eh? Like
Yeah.
they're not like chickens and whatever. Like,
No.
same species, but they will fuck you up.
They will fuck you. Yeah. Because they're giant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're like dinosaurs, eh?
Yeah. They
Almost.
are, yeah. So anyway, so that was a bit weird. How have your shows been going in Brisbane?
Yeah, they've been really, really tough. Really tough. Because it's a 30-seater, I can
Right.
see everyone in the audience.
Right.
And everyone I've ever met is coming.
Right. Which makes it so much harder because you know everyone in the audience.
Yeah. So you're constantly trying to overcome the fact that they just know you from life, though.
Yeah.
They don't know you from doing any gig before.
No, they're just relatives and friends of friends and stuff.
Yeah. It's like everyone you ever met. Like, it'll just be like, you know what I mean? It's like when they're strangers, it's good because it's like they just become binary code.
Right, yeah.
They're just ones and zeros. You're just shooting them. It's like playing GoldenEye with the Russian, like those you're just shooting Russians.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
I'm never going to see these guys again.
Yeah.
But when it's like, when you're playing GoldenEye and if one of the Russians looked like a barista that served you a piccolo latte in 2015.
Right. It'd put you off.
You wouldn't shoot as hard.
Yeah.
Or whatever. You'd
Yeah.
gingerly be like, oh, yeah, what? This is weird.
Yeah, when one of the Russians is Uncle Steve,
Yeah.
who's come to see whether you're funny or not, it really tends to put off your aim.
Yeah, because you're like, what? I know I did this. You do that to see who's in.
Yeah.
And I see my friend's dad.
Oh,
And I'm like,
nightmare.
that's not good. You can't really focus on your material when there's a guy that made you a ham and cheese sandwich in the 90s,
Yeah.
giving you the straight-faced
Yeah,
emoji.
yeah.
Like, you're like, that guy made me. And then you respect them too much to swear.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? You don't commit as hard.
Yeah. Because you could smash just a regular punter and everyone would enjoy it. But when everyone in the room sort of knows someone and you know that you know them and you're going to talk to them after, you tend not to call them a cunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they're going to be forever.
Yeah.
Like bringing it up. Remember you called me a cunt?
Yeah. So you see them in 10 years, they'll be like, you called me a cunt once in a comedy show.
Yeah.
Didn't you say one of them started talking during your Anthony Bourdain bit?
Well, I just said Anthony Bourdain, and that guy I was talking about, he just turned to his wife or whatever and was just like, he's dead.
That's the weirdest thing to make an effort to say.
It's funny because there was no one laughed at it, but when it's just silent, like you could hear a pin drop. In that moment, he chose to just go, like, just in case she didn't.
Yeah.
Like she thought he was alive and well.
Yeah.
He's dead.
He's dead.
That's what you want, eh?
Yeah, that's right. That's hilarious. Did you have any weird encounters because the other thing about your room in Brisbane is that you get trapped before and after. There's only one entrance and exit.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me out the fire escape because there is a fire door, but he said it sets off an alarm.
Oh, would have been tempting.
It's tempting because, like, usually I would go through a fire escape if it was possible.
Yeah, to avoid socializing with loose
acquaintances
and so on.
and they're waiting.
Right. Oh, they are.
Yeah.
They're waiting.
And then you're kind of in this weird position where you're having like a celebratory drink after you've bombed in front of people, you know?
Oh, it's the worst because you do the show and then in the audience, because you're in a 30-seater, is just all people you know and relatives, people you went to school with, friends of friends, and then Uncle Steve and Auntie Marg. And then the gig finishes and you can't get out any other way. So you go out and they're all gathered there because they've got to, right? Because they've got to go like, oh, yeah,
I was there.
Yeah, good one.
I think you've got to, I would wait like 10 minutes as well, just to give myself more chance that they'll leave.
Yeah. You try and take as long as possible, yeah.
But then next minute you come out, you're drinking a strawberry daiquiri just after bombing.
Yeah.
Because you've got to have a drink and you're like celebrating.
Yeah, it's the
that you've
worst.
failed. And they don't bring anything up that just happened.
Yeah.
They're like, we're going to go to the bar. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
They won't bring the show because it's too awkward because you fell apart. But
then they also want the drink because that feels like they're doing the right thing.
I think so, yeah.
So in their heads, they're like, whoa, that was that Anthony Bourdain joke, whoa, or whatever. And then immediately after, they're like, let's have a drink. And you're like, well, why don't we just fucking let me go and everyone just go their own separate ways so we can just pretend this never happened?
Yeah, I'll go straight home.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. To marinate on this for like an hour afterwards.
Yeah.
And their presence is what made you fall apart too.
Yeah. They ruined the gig. And then they want to celebrate that they ruined it.
And it's the only time I've ever celebrated a gig. Like no other gig I've ever done I've celebrated after like that.
Yeah.
But this one's the only one because you know them.
Yeah. So it's the worst one and the only one you celebrate.
Yeah. So it's the worst combo ever.
It's like in any other job if you got fired and then or just humiliated yourself at the presentation or whatever. It's like, oh, that went bad. We lost the account.
Yeah.
Everybody thought it was shit. Let's get some drinks and celebrate. And everyone has to pretend that it was good. Like, no.
Now you're drinking a drink with an elaborate straw after like humiliating yourself at the work conference. You're like,
doesn't happen in any other job.
No. The ones that go well, you leave after straight away.
If I could do one thing to my brain, it would be to remove the memory of disrespect.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like I'm constantly I have a hyper awareness of disrespect.
Yeah.
Like I'm almost overcompensating.
Yeah. I
find disrespect when it's not there.
I feel like memory of disrespect, it's with you forever.
Yeah. I'm a truffle pig for disrespect.
Yeah. You can smell it out.
Yeah. Like even the slightest hint of it.
And find it where it isn't. It's just someone gives you an ambivalent greeting.
Yeah.
And because you're hungover or whatever, you're like, what does that mean? Like, they were given warmer greetings. Like, they went in for the hug with that other guy.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
But for me, I just get a, huh. And you're like, but it's nothing. But you're like, no, it's something.
Yeah, you create something. I want a short, like a 30-second memory of disrespect.
Yeah, you want to reverse your brain. Because that's the thing, like, we have, like, that's the thing. Like, I have a goldfish memory for good things.
Yeah.
You know, it's the wrong way around.
Yeah.
Like, the best thing could happen and I've forgotten it within seconds.
But you've got an elephant's memory for the time that guy bought everyone else a drink but sort of forgot to get you one. And it's like, what does that mean?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, like I'll remember that till I die.
The elephant's just like it's morning. Like, you know how they put their trunk up?
Yeah.
Like
you think the elephant's a more unhappy animal because it remembers everything.
Yeah, there's a WhatsApp group throwing me under the bus. Like the trunk's coming up.
Yeah,
like you know how they cry and
yeah.
I think because they can remember all the disrespect in the savannah or whatever.
Yeah, well, that's probably why fish are happier.
Yeah,
because they've got such a short-term memory.
Well, if you look at a human, any human that looks like a fish is happy.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Like they're like their lips flap.
Yeah. Like I've got a mate, Kyle, and he looks like a fish. He's got big fish lips, and he's always like,
he's forgetting disrespect.
Yeah.
You're like, you're a dickhead. He's like he's forgetting.
Yeah, fish look happy.
I know those guys. They remember a compliment from the 90s.
Yeah.
They're like, they said I had a good shirt, and now I'm still wearing it. It's like, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, whereas that's gone.
Like they dine out on it.
Yeah.
They dine out on achievement for years.
Yeah, exactly. It's I'm envious.
Yeah.
But then, you know, fish in the Coral Sea and that, they're forgetting when the octopus squirts ink in their face, they're like, oh, disrespect, and then immediately like, oh, what's that?
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
some seaweed to eat.
yeah, yeah, totally.
But they're also forgetting when the coral trout comes over and goes, no, you're a good bloke. So
Yeah.
they're missing out on both.
Yeah, they're
if that
forgetting
makes
the
sense.
compliment on their like swimming and stuff.
Yeah.
When they were in their early years, when they tried to make fixtures or whatever, they're like,
Yeah.
"That was good. You got it. You
Mm.
got the breaststroke down, or whatever."
Well done,
Yeah,
cod.
you
Or
forget that, but I think that's a fair bargain.
Yeah. Well, it's strange. I mean, you know, fish have bad memories, but they're made of fish oil.
Yeah, it's funny to like because your granddad will take fish oil to remember who you are,
Yeah.
but it's made out of a thing that has no memory.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be like if Usain Bolt ate a guy in a wheelchair
Yeah.
and got faster. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like
That's
he's doing
right, yeah.
ads for it. It's like if you grind up a guy in a wheelchair and put it into this supplement, I take 30 milligrams of Dylan Alcott every day. I find that it makes me optimized on the track and field.
Yeah.
Sustainably caught.
Yeah. It's just
They like have a net at the Paralympics or
yeah,
whatever.
because they can't run, and it's like somehow extracting, you know, the essence of fastness out of someone that isn't fast. It's
You take the animal with the least short-term memory,
right.
but if you grind it up and put it into a tablet, it'll make you remember where your keys are.
Yeah.
If
It doesn't make any sense.
So one animal is using another animal with the worst quality
Yeah.
to improve that quality in themselves.
Yeah. It's bizarre. If there was anything like that, I think in life that you would need the greatest resilience to disrespect, it would be being in a poly relationship.
Yeah.
Like I've got loads of friends because poly's really popular now.
Oh yeah.
I have loads of friends that are poly.
It's like the gig economy, but for relationships.
Yeah.
It's like Steve on a Tuesday, you know,
Yeah.
Greg on a Wednesday.
Yeah. Just yeah.
It's like, you know, someone who's like a menu log driver, but they also have their fabrics startup
Yeah.
making curtains or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. They've got a lot going on.
Yeah.
A lot of different gigs.
I make curtains out of seaweed and then I do Deliveroo as well. So
Yeah.
yeah. I'm
Yeah, that's
poly
right.
with my career.
Yeah, exactly the same thing, basically, but with people. Because I couldn't handle that.
No.
Like you would have to be such a high tolerance to disrespect to be with someone who's like, oh, I'm going to go and fuck Tim. I'll catch you later.
Yeah.
And for you to be like, yes, that is fine. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you would have to be like a meditation Zen.
Yeah.
Like I would have to go to an ashram for 20 years, you know, in like the Himalayan mountains and meditate. And then maybe,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
maybe you'd be like, okay, just tonight.
Yep, that's fine. But as soon as you're hungover or whatever and a little bit, you know, touchy, you're tired.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know what? I do have a problem with you fucking that Greek guy who owns a fish market.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
Actually,
Yeah.
you know, it gets on top of you or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do have a problem with you fucking Nikos.
The halibut is insane that he's got. I need
Yeah.
to go back.
If I go back now and I order the calamari, he's going to know.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
Cheers.
You've ruined my seafood and my, like, yeah, my vibe with you. Because how does someone get to that place mentally?
I have no idea.
You need to be in like just peaking in every other aspect
I reckon
of your life to
a
take
lot
the
of-
hit of it.
Yeah. I reckon a lot of exposure therapy.
Yeah.
Like be with someone and then just, I'm going to fuck Tim. I'm going to fuck Steve. I'm going to fuck Kyle. I'm going to, you know, every week. And it's like eventually you're like, oh, you know.
you
You
just
know
get
what
used to it.
You get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Those guys, they must have the best like mental, or the worst. Who knows?
Yeah. I think it's tough.
Yeah. Like you wouldn't want to do like, you know, smoke crystal meth and then wake up and your wife's, you
Yeah.
know, with the calamari guy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're coming down, you just flop sweats. You're like, where is she? Fuck, I just need a hug.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she's with the Greek guy and you can see it on Instagram and whatever.
Yeah. They're sharing a baked salmon or whatever. With his famous Greek salad.
And you just sending her a text like, have fun.
Yeah.
Like,
and
'cause
you're
you're
like
trying to be cool about
paranoid.
it?
Yeah. Yeah. Paranoid and distant and anxiety racing thoughts. And it's like, geez, I wish I could hang out with my girlfriend. Oh, yeah, she's fucking that truck driver.
That's right. The guy that drives the FedEx truck.
Yeah.
They had like a brief conversation and parlayed that into like a fucking...
Yeah. Let's catch up later.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's fucking the guy, the guy that backs in the fuel truck and then attaches it and fills up the fuel at the service stations to the big underground tanks.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, she's off fucking him.
You're like, how did she even meet him? You're just thinking like, how?
Yeah. Yeah. It's so sad. I'd really like to speak to my girlfriend this morning as I'm feeling a bit fragile, but she's off fucking a confectionery rep. and the guy fixes photocopiers.
Yeah. She's just all these like miscellaneous jobs.
Yeah.
Like that's how like small the meetings are that you use as a platform.
Yeah. So I read this thing about obesity and stuff in Australia and how it's on the rise and all this stuff. Anyway, there's that. I've read this before. I'm sure that this is common knowledge that in medieval times, to be fat, you were highly respected and attractive because being fat meant that you had access to food and sweets, because only royalty would have access to cakes and like sweets.
Yeah, totally.
So if you were fat, people were like, damn, look at that fat man's double chin. Like, fuck. Like, it was like, whoa, you know what I mean? It just made me realize that, like, if you could time travel, like, if you took, like, the fat dude, like, if you took Chris Hemsworth and sent him back to the medieval times, it'd be like, back to work, peasant.
Yeah.
Because he's thin and muscular. You know what I mean? Like, he's got no body fat and he's muscular, which just means that he's had a long life of working.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't be like, oh, this beautiful. It's just like, get back in the mud, idiot.
Yeah, that's like a peasant's frame.
Yeah, he's got a peasant's frame.
Yeah.
Which he's gotten from pretending to lift, like actual peasants lift carts and hay bales, but he's gotten it from
doing CrossFit or whatever. When they do that whipping thing.
Yeah.
Like he would have been on the other end of that whip.
Yeah, exactly.
Back in medieval times, like pulling like the king.
Well, being a peasant in medieval times was just like CrossFit.
Yeah.
Like you could, it's fasting, it's lifting, and it's like cold plunges, like every shower is like a cold shower.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's that. And intermittent fasting, of course.
If you were like going around then going, yeah, I fasted, they'd be like, you loser. Of course you were. Like because you can't find any food.
Yeah, exactly.
My lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fasting, are you, my liege?
Yeah.
Like the fat guy on the, the fat lord on the, keep fasting. Like, because the big thing on the front cover of Men's Health in those days would have just been a fat, like, lord, like just showing, like, they had the shots of the abs.
Yeah.
It's like photoshopped a bigger double chin.
Yeah.
And
make my chin bigger, my lord.
And they're all like, how do you put on weight faster?
Yeah.
It's like, have your peasants feed you custard.
Yeah.
Ways
to get it in, more stuff into your mouth.
Yeah, how to eat more meals.
Yeah. They would have been injecting fat into themselves.
Yeah, like the opposite
Reverse
of silicon.
Liposuction.
Yeah, liposuction, yeah.
Like there'd be peasants trying to inject fat into themselves.
More fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to get those man boobs. Like, I'm going to get man boob. Like,
yeah, it's a complete reversal.
Yeah, like if you took a fat, like an obese person on a motorized scooter and put them back in medieval times, it'd be like, my lord, welcome.
Yeah.
How are thee? Look how fat they are. And this future, what is this horseless stallion, this horseless carriage that what is this technology?
Like, around.
You'd just be immediately a king.
Yeah.
What is this mask? This mask you carry to breathe? What is this advanced magic of the sleep apnea mask?
Yeah. That's like the breath work that they value.
Mm.
Not the breath work that a Chris Hemsworth does now.
Right.
Because the peasant would have been doing like breathing out and having great breath work, but the king would have been like he would have had like heart palpitations and been like, that kind of like, so he wears the mask. They just think it's even more magical.
Yeah. He's like a really, really healthy.
He has mastered breath work, my lord, but actually.
Yeah. But he's just a fat dude with a Yeah.
But that's what sleep apnea masks are, just for people who can't breathe.
Yeah.
Like have lost the ability. Like on the spectrum of breath work,
Yeah.
it's two polar opposites.
Yeah, there's like Wim Hof and then there's Gary
Joff. Or whatever,
Yeah.
The guy at the cinema.
Yeah, he would have had great videos and stuff in medieval times on how to breathe too heavily at a movie so everyone else can hear you. Like that's the kind of breath work you want in medieval times.
Yeah, the type of breath work that like is louder than the popcorn crunch. Like at pivotal moments, he's like,
yeah.
It's like, fuck, is this guy gonna have a heart attack? He's sweating in this air conditioned room.
Oh man, I could hear one in my show the other night. Just
doing Wim Hof.
Yeah, but the unhealthy version. Yeah,
it does sound similar, I guess, because there is a lot of.
It could have been someone.
Like if it is that could be both, I guess.
Yeah, 100%.
Either way, it's highly performative breathing, in a way.
Do you think that's why? Like I have a mate, Kai, who does medieval reenactments, who's really fat.
Yeah,
like so many obese friends of mine that used to be improvisers.
Yeah.
Weirdly have gone into medieval reenactments. Like they find that fun. Is that just an attempt to go back to a time when fat people were on top?
Yeah, that's just the last time they were peaking.
Right.
They're stuck in that time period. Like it's
Right.
like, when you're stuck in a stage of development, they're stuck in the 13th century.
Yeah. Some people like the 70s, like the 80s, but
I like the 13th century.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah, because a big feature of the reenactment is the banquet.
Yeah.
I noticed that when they do it seems to take up.
It's like the 80-20 principle, but 80% of it's the banquet.
Yeah.
It's like da da, like it's just like da da da.
Yep.
And now we feast.
Now time for the feast. It's like, no, I'm pretty sure the duels go for a couple of hours. No, not today.
These duels were quick.
My
Quick
liege.
duels.
And then they all compete with what they bought. I bought pies from from
cherry
it's
pies.
strange that you bought so many pies for a time that when people were starving. Like, oh yes, but it's accurate.
Yeah.
Of the time.
This is an accurate representation.
To eat 12 pies. The buffet, my lord.
The smorgasbord has verisimilitude, my lord.
No one bothered to cook anything, my lord, so we'll go to the Jupiter's Casino buffet instead, my liege.
Yeah.
We'll get out of costume and just spend 2 hours there.
Sometimes they are partially out of costume. So they'll be at like a Sizzler buffet, but they'll be like a medieval helmet on the table. Do you know what I mean? But they've also got like a shirt, like a novelty t-shirt on.
Yeah,
So like, you took the chainmail off, but you've got your helmet and stuff. Like,
yeah. But you're at the buffet
for
the feast after the duel.
Yeah.
But you've bought your lance or whatever that's lying nearby.
They eat like that scene in Lord of the Rings where he's like crushing tomatoes and it's going everywhere, like the chicken. Getting real into it.
Yeah, spilling it. Yeah, that's part of the authenticity of it.
Yeah. It's just squirt tomato everywhere.
Yeah, I remember that scene vividly as well.
There's just something about the sheer hedonism of it.
Yeah, well, there's a war going on too.
Yeah.
It would have been a good time. I would rather be in a time where eating a lot to gain weight, to be fat, to be respected, seems a lot more fun than fasting, doing weights, exercising.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To then, like in our society where fit, ripped people are respected.
I think also like peasants back then, like now to be like Chris Hemsworth or whatever, you've got to like sacrifice your life to do it.
Right.
Because like he can have the feast.
Right.
Whereas at least the peasant back then didn't have the feast.
Yeah.
Hovering over them. They're like, I can't get to the feast.
Yeah.
I'm too busy being whipped.
Yeah, it's not an option. I'm too busy, living in mud.
Yeah.
And shit.
So there's no like temptation to...
Yeah, it's a greater struggle.
Yeah.
It's not like the feast is an option and then they choose not to have it.
Yeah.
Like Chris Hemsworth could have a toasted cheese sandwich.
But he's got to go, no, or whatever.
Yeah, which is why we respect him.
Or like a cold shower, the hot one's right next to it.
Right, yeah.
Whereas the peasants were just thrown into a frozen lake.
Yeah. and that's how they got such great bone structure.
Yeah, they didn't know they were doing the Wim Hof method.
Yeah.
They just thought they were having like a forced bath.
Yeah. Well, they didn't realize they were fasting, doing Wim Hof, doing deep breathing, and CrossFit when they like have to, drag the king's carriage or whatever, get him whipped.
They would have had no idea.
They didn't realize the king and the lord whipping them while they, transport. They put the carriage on their shoulders and walk him around. They didn't realize that that's just like a PT, a personal trainer, just going more reps. You can do it.
Yeah, if they just had the mental real estate to reframe it as positive.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, this is good.
Yeah.
If they had a Google Watch, like they could measure it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like having the metrics would have helped.
Yeah, that's right.
Like they were like, fuck, my heart rate's optimized.
Yeah.
Like got 8 hours of REM.
Yeah.
Because they would have slept so well because of the circadian rhythms.
Yeah.
I always think that when I see a medieval film, because they've always got candles, I'm like, fuck, their sleep would be off the hook.
It was so good.
That's how much insomnia I have, that when I'm watching like a medieval thing, they're stabbing each other with swords, I'm just thinking about the candles at night.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
That'd be nice.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, Lord of the Rings, one of the great epics of them. Like, damn, they would have slept well.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, Gandalf does the thing where he's like, makes his staff light up magically. It's like, that would have been good as a reading light because it's low light, no screen, no blue light.
Yeah, they don't use fluorescent lights and stuff in Lord of the Rings. They don't go and turn it on and beams.
Yeah.
There was no like Cole's level of lighting where it's just shining in your eyes.
Yeah.
Like, you'll never sleep again kind of thing.
That flame lighting would be so good for sleep.
They had the flame, and then they had like the peace pipe, the teas.
Yeah.
They were toiling the fields all day.
Yeah, they would have had the best sleep.
Yeah.
I think they would have slept a lot.
Yeah.
It's a shame. Sleep, fucking fitness. The only downside is that you get murdered and whipped and your family gets killed and sometimes you starve to death.
Yeah.
But other than that,
it's fantastic lifestyle. It's a great lifestyle.
Oh, shit.
So now, like, Chris Hemsworth LARPs as a medieval peasant, basically. It's like reverse.
Yeah. Yeah, and he gets into movies and revered and has his own protein shake brand.
Yeah, because the medieval reenactment people pretend to be kings.
Yeah.
But he's almost cosplaying as a peasant.
Yeah.
From back then.
Yeah.
But he's having to whip himself with ropes.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. You told me the other day when you were looking at broadband, like you were calling for broadband. What were you saying?
Aussie broadband.
Yeah, there's one called Aussie broadband.
Yeah, they're
like AUSSIE.
Yeah,
Aussie. Yeah.
Weird name. Have you heard of them?
No.
That's my provider.
Aussie.
Yeah.
Just Aussie.
Aussie broadband. I rang them up because they suck.
Right.
You know, they all just, I don't know why the internet doesn't work in the CBD in a major city for some reason.
Yeah, often in Australia.
Whereas in South Korea, they can stream Game of Thrones off the trains. Wi-Fi, but we're like, no, you can't open your email in your own house, even though you live in a skyscraper.
Yeah,
it's like,
it's
okay,
so
what's
weird.
going on?
Like you can literally see the servers of IINet or whatever. Like you can see they're there.
Yeah,
like you should be able to plug a cable directly into the It's infuriating.
Oh yeah, I got to the point where you're just using data on your phone.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? You spend like $400
because you're tethering
to watch like The Wire or whatever.
Yeah, it's infuriating.
So I'm ringing them up in that infuriated state.
Yeah.
And they're playing the hold music and, then during the hold music, they're like, at Aussie Broadband, we're not racist. Which I was like, I clock that as unusual.
Yeah. That raises more questions than it answers, I think.
Yeah. It's weird because, like, I think what's happening is they think Aussie, which I thought was like a fun nickname.
Yeah.
It's weird that they think that might be sinister, maybe?
Yeah, it's like they're associating it with white nationalism.
Yeah,
like
but they're
Southern
like,
Cross.
no, but it's not that kind of thing.
Just in case you were thinking it.
But I wasn't thinking it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think of, like, giving fun nicknames to dictators and stuff.
Yeah, like, nicknames are rarely sinister.
Like Starlo, put me in the gulag again. Fucking Starlo's up to his old tricks again. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't think anyone in Russia during that time was going, fucking Starlo.
Bloody Pol Potsy.
Yeah, I think usually when they start rounding up your friends and family, putting them in concentration camps, you use their actual full
You
name.
use full name, Joseph Stalin.
Yeah. You go to full name.
Yeah.
Like, you don't keep using the nickname.
Yeah. Joey.
Yeah.
Joey shot the family. Thought they were conspiring against the communist utopia.
Yeah.
Bloody Starlo.
Typical Macca,
Yeah,
rounding
yeah.
up the friends and family, putting them into a camp.
Yeah. Nah, bloody Steve-O's the Jew hunter for the SS.
Steve-O's a bloody crypto-fascist.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Like, yeah, so it's weird. And it's also funny because it's like, we're not racist. It reminds me of like when you see a weird shonky dentist and they're like, professional dentist.
Right.
You're like, professional dentist?
Yeah.
Not just a dentist?
Yeah.
Like, something tells me you've been sued for malpractice. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's like when we go to see a chiropractor and there's 47 awards and like certificates on their wall.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, what's going on here? Are you going to break my back?
Yeah.
Like, you're more sus than you are if someone just had none.
Yeah, did you fracture someone's clavicle last week or something? And now you put all the things up because you're defensive?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, see, I'm qualified.
Yeah. It's insecure to like show your certification.
Yeah.
Never go to someone that's like Joseph, Greg, like, and they've got like MD, PhD, like that. You know those guys? They put all these degrees.
Yeah,
up.
they
Like,
have all the
fucking hell.
little abbreviations. Yeah.
But they're from weird unis and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they're from the University of Certification. Like it's like something you've never heard of.
The University of Australia. It's like, what?
Sounds good, but doesn't sound
Yeah,
real.
Yeah. So there's quite a lot of, I guess you'd say, hype around lab-grown meat.
Yeah.
I was reading about that the other day. What are your thoughts on lab-grown meat?
Well, it's just funny because it's like, it's for people who consider themselves ethical. They want to eat lab-grown meat, but they still want to simulate the thing that's bad.
Yeah.
Like they say meat is murder, but if you cosplay the murder, it's fine.
Right. So you still make it look like meat, taste like meat.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like you've still got the evil desire to eat this wrong thing, but you're just doing it in a simulated way.
Well, it raises an interesting ethical question, which is it better to allow bad stuff to happen in a virtual realm so that you get the bad urge out?
Right.
Like if you were a murderer or whatever, would it be better to have a virtual reality?
Put you into Grand Theft Auto and let you work it out there.
Exactly.
You know, just give you a hammer in Grand Theft Auto and go around and just kill parking inspectors or whatever.
Right.
It's like, oh, he's not a threat to society anymore.
Yeah, because he's gotten it out.
Yeah.
Right, but a very realistic Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Work it out in Grand Theft Auto.
And then he can just be like, no, I'm ethical. I just play Grand Theft Auto as myself and literally feel the hammer go into the head. Like, you know what I mean? He actually, because the meat is going to taste like meat. So he's actually going to feel like he's got a parking inspector in a stranglehold. Or like putting him in a wood chipper, just lowering him in.
Right. He'll get the real,
He'll get the rush of murder.
Yeah. The Matrix level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he'll come out, it'll be like he's popped a Valium.
Yeah.
Like he'll be real calm at work. You know, where he works at Dimmicks.
Yeah. They always work at Dimmicks, don't they? The
JB Hi-Fi.
Psychosexual maniacs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, trying to process vouchers for Christmas. You want a World War II memoir, do you? About a fighter pilot?
Yeah, I got you. I'll look after you. I don't want to. I do not fantasize about slowly lowering you into a wood chipper.
No, that's not what I like.
That's not what I'm into. That'd be good for my Uncle Brian.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think you could do it with any nasty impulse.
Yeah, like my uncle Brian, who is a racist.
Yeah.
Based on his Facebook posts.
Right.
He's not actually an uncle. He's just like some loose family affiliate.
Right. He shows up in photos.
Yeah,
like
he works at a confectionery warehouse.
Yeah, right.
Uncle Brian, and he he just shows up. It'd be good for him to have, like, he's not racist, but he says borderline shit a lot. So it'd be good for him to have a Matrix-like experience where he could play instead of, doing it at the family barbecue. Like, he could feel free to let it all out in a virtual...
Of the shame and judgment as well.
Yeah.
So like a racist Matrix.
A racist Matrix.
Like Morpheus comes and gives you the red pill.
Right.
Or the blue pill.
Yeah, like take the red pill and you will... Which one's the good one? The blue one's where you go into it?
The red pill's the one where you go into it.
Right.
So he red pills himself, goes into a racist Matrix.
Right.
And he can go to a barbecue there and talk about putting an Indian guy in a bin.
Yeah.
Or whatever he wants to say.
Yeah. So take the blue pill.
Yeah.
And, just end up being banned again from Christmas barbecues because you brought up the Holocaust.
Yeah.
Or take the red pill and see how far the rabbit hole goes.
Yeah,
of
right.
racial slurs and your thoughts on Sharia law.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you can talk about the Armenian genocide without any consequences to your career. That's what we're selling you with this red pill experience.
Yeah.
Like, that's Morpheus doing the spiel.
He's like, and take the red pill and you can send as many group emails as you like.
Yeah.
With the weird memes that are like, that, like, I had an uncle that sent me like a vagina smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
And there's obviously a tremendous amount of shame and embarrassment around that for him when he gets
affected
reprimanded.
his life.
Yeah. But it's like, stop sending these and inappropriate and so on. But take the red pill and send them to everyone in your contacts, and they're like, "Thanks, this is really funny." You know what I mean? In the virtual, he's actually rewarded.
He gets his fill of disputing the official numbers.
He gets that out.
Yeah, he gets that out. In like a safe simulation that feels real to him. So then when he actually goes to your Christmas barbecue, he just eats prawns.
Right. And he's relaxed.
He eats prawns without the racism.
The night before.
He just enjoys the seafood.
He just enjoys fresh caught seafood because the night before he's had his fill.
Yeah.
He's had his fill.
So that's like lab grown meat in a way.
Yeah.
It's like because the people who eat that stuff think meat is murder or whatever. It comes from thinking what you're going to eat an actual.
Yeah.
Like, that's so wrong, but fuck, the taste is good. Of the thing that's so wrong.
Yeah.
Let's make it taste exactly like murder.
Right.
But without the guilt.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean.
But I would argue it's still funny because it's like, you still have the evil
You still
impulse.
have the evil.
Yeah.
But that's the point.
Yeah.
Is can human beings overcome evil on their own? No.
Well, because wouldn't a true vegan that was like meat is murder, it would just be like, I'm not even going to have something that tastes like murder?
Yeah, that looks like it.
Like they would just be eating pears or whatever.
Well, that's like that old joke about lesbians using dildos. It's
yeah.
like, well, you made your choice.
Yeah, right.
Like you've got a penis like...
That's their Matrix.
Yeah. That's like an old pub joke I used to hear back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like a guy used to go, penis-shaped dildos, you made your choice.
Wow.
It's the weirdest joke. It's just so bad.
Such a weird angle to take as well.
Yeah.
Like he's in charge of the choices that you make.
Yeah.
Like there's a finite number of choices and you've made yours.
Yeah.
No more choices for you.
Yeah. It's like, why do you care about what lesbians do?
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, it's such a weird. It's like he's got his nose out of joint. He's like, I've got a penis. You don't want that, do you? Oh, you'll have a fake one, will you?
Yeah.
It's very strange.
I guess, yeah, it's weird. It's like being an anti-Semite, but you don't want to hurt any Jews, so you just put a bunch of Seinfeld DVDs in a microwave.
Yeah.
Like, I guess it's a lo-fi version. It's a lo-fi version of the Matrix thing, that one.
Right, I see what you mean.
Like, that's when you don't have Morpheus. You're like, fuck, the Jews give me the squirts or whatever, and you're like, oh, but I don't want to actually do something
anything
bad, so I'll just get my Seinfeld collection and burn them.
And put it into
Yeah.
Because, like, for someone like Hitler, that wouldn't be enough.
No.
He'd need a virtual simulation of
Hitler would need to be red-pilled.
Yeah.
To not do,
For example.
to take the evil out.
Yeah.
No, it's an interesting. I think Silicon Valley and whatever the mock meat people get together,
Mm.
make a Matrix
Yeah,
type thing.
I reckon that'll go well.
That's a good startup idea.
Mm. Maybe that's what Zuckerberg's actually doing.
I guess
with
that is the metaverse. Eh?
Yeah. He's like, just create the virtual world. Trust me.
Yeah. The metaverse seems weird because in a weird way, because everyone's sharing the simulation,
Mm.
it almost makes it like they can still hold you to account.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the
yeah.
metaverse with that one.
Yeah. 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 Right. Like you can still get like, I see.
Yeah.
So even in the virtual world, Uncle Gary's like, yep, show me the dental records.
Yeah.
Or whatever of his Holocaust conspiracy. And then other virtual avatars are like, oh, Uncle Gary in the virtual world said something about the Holocaust. So he's ruining the virtual. He's ruining the virtual barbecue as well as the real one.
And then that ruins the real one too, because
Yeah.
someone in the metaverse unplugs and was like, "Man, Gary, I saw you in the metaverse. It was off the hook."
Yeah.
When you had that conference.
Yeah. And he's like, no, but it's in the metaverse. Yeah, but it's still, we still see it virtually.
Yeah.
Like that stuff you were saying about how Sharia law is actually in fact in place in government right now in Australia.
Yeah, that's gotten back
Yeah.
to HR.
Yeah. But so you'd need a virtual reality where it's like there's no one in there that can see what you're doing.
It's just you.
It's just you. And simulated versions of the people you know.
That are indistinguishable from them.
That'd be great for disrespect.
Oh, absolutely.
Go up and just have, like, wouldn't it be great you could plug in, replay the moment where
they said that your couch was not in good shape or whatever.
Yeah. Or when like they had that cocktail party and they didn't invite you because you're too awkward.
Yeah.
Or whatever, and just replay it and go, I didn't want to go anyway, or whatever, pathetic.
Yeah.
And so on.
Yeah, and then you go in and you just turn up to the cocktail party with a hammer. Like you actually get to self-actualize the disrespect, what you were going to do.
Right.
Like, you know, that thing where like, oh, I could show up anyway.
Mm.
I could show up anyway, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you actually get to show up.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm here.
Yeah. You never have the courage to actually show up, but
no.
Yeah, but this time you show up in a ski mask.
Yeah.
And
Usually
a cattle prod.
Usually you just go home and replay it.
Yeah. But this one you show up with the cattle prod and go, what were you saying before, Lisa?
That I can't come?
Yeah, didn't you
I'm
say
here
I
now.
come?
I'm here now.
Mm.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
That'd be good because I think like I almost have a theory that all mental illness is just disrespect.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Because like when you see a crazy person in the street just going, yeah, no, that's Steve is fucking wrong. You know that like unfinished monologue?
Mm-hmm.
It's like Steve said that it was you know how they're always talking about Steve or something? Like
yeah,
someone had cut them off in traffic 10 years ago.
Yeah, they're playing out the argument.
That got them to here.
Got them to there, but they never got to win or have their say or whatever.
And now they've hit rock bottom, their 60-year-old guy with a Slurpee.
Yeah.
Just going, Steve. You know, like those 60-year-olds with Slurpees?
Yeah.
It's like Steve said, fucking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying, like, if you put them in the matrix of disrespect matrix.
He could have got it out. It's a type of therapy.
Yeah. He could go in and just crush his head. And then virtually, and then come back and be like, yeah, Steve's all right. It's all good.
We worked it out.
I'm an accountant now at PricewaterhouseCoopers. It's all been good. Like, do you know what I mean? They could re-assimilate into society.
Yeah, I'm so glad I put his head in a freezer in the virtual world because now I can get back to my spreadsheets.
Yeah.
And he never ends up with the Slurpee on the street.
Now he's diversified his super. He's in a Sky Cube job, you know?
Yeah. All because he dragged Steve or whatever the guy had a problem with behind a truck.
Yeah.
And through a cactus field.
Yeah. That's all it took.
All it took.
To make unfinished business finish business.
Mm.
And like lead back to that should be the Beyond Blue program.
I see.
For the new mental health.
Yeah, like let's conquer mental health. It's like screens are a problem. What if there's the solution?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Too much time on your phone. How about getting inside your phone?
Get inside it and exercise that. Yeah, disrespect.
Yeah, an exorcism.
Yeah,
of disrespect.
An exorcism.
It's an exorcism of historical disrespect.
Yeah. I get through a few.
Yeah.
I get through a few.
And then you get to be calm in your real life.
Yeah. You said that's...
No, it's
Like,
funny because
yeah.
like people who do BDSM are apparently really polite.
Yeah.
Because that's sort of a matrix. Like they go into the dungeon, get candle wax,
dominatrix.
they attach jumper cables to their balls and like
Yeah.
light them up. And then afterwards they're like, so how are you going? Like at the cafe or whatever.
Yeah.
Then they give you the piccolo latte and smile because you don't know that they've had candle wax just dripping on their balls or
They've
whatever.
had their own... Yeah. Jeez, what's up with that guy? He seems so polite and calm. I wonder if he's had candle wax dripped on his balls.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so. You wouldn't think so.
No, yeah. I wonder if that guy's a gimp.
That's not what you go to, is it?
Yeah,
you
you don't
probably
go...
meditate.
You never... Yeah, if you see someone who's polite, you never go, oh, it's probably because he does TM.
Right.
Oh, no, you do. You think like, oh, that's probably because he did a Vipassana retreat.
Right, but you don't think it's because he was covered in oil and dragged by a cable that's connected to his penis.
Yeah.
Around a floor while
that his
people
penis
urinate.
has been stretched around a room.
Yeah. That's not what you think.
By a dominatrix who then stamps on the foreskin with the pointy bit at the end.
Right, yeah.
Stiletto, that's what
Stilettos, yeah. You're like, that's not why he's relaxed.
Yeah.
He's probably relaxed because he had a smoothie.
Yeah.
Or a chamomile tea. But, you know, that's their version of the Matrix, dominatrix, is that they get up a basement, like in Pulp Fiction or whatever, and they get it out down there. Actually, Pulp Fiction's a bad reference.
Well, they put it... Well, no, they do put the Matrix in dominatrix. Like, you know what I mean? Because it is a Matrix.
Yeah.
Because it's literally in a dungeon, and also no one talks about it.
Right.
You never hear going, yes, I was in the dungeon last night. It was good.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I was like kind of on a crucifix like this. They kind of nail my hand.
Then they go at it, at the penis.
Yeah.
For example.
With a hacksaw, and then after that, I'm just quite. Yeah. Then I watch Miss Marple's Crumpet Circle on TV with a chamomile.
And I'm watching Antique Roadshow.
Yeah.
Thanks. If you're wondering.
Feel my pulse. It's amazing.
Talking about getting back to being connected and stuff, and I've noticed when I was thinking about this the other day that the only manual labor like that I notice like inner city people do is picking up dog shit. Like I was watching people pick up dog shit in a dog park, and I'm like, oh, there's almost a strange satisfaction to it. For them, because it's almost a bit like, oh, well, we've got to get this job done. Yuck. Oh.
There's a wholesomeness to the when you see someone do it. There's a kind of wholesome, like,
got a job done.
Like they're not resenting picking up the shit at all. Like it's the most down to earth thing they've done.
There's a secret thing for people that work in accounts and like
for hedge funds and
for people that
Young.
Are stockbrokers. They're like, yeah.
Well, because they're moving currencies around on a screen, dealing with literally fake money. So how disconnected are you from the actual world? And the thing that connects you most to the world is literally shit. Like it's the circle of life.
It's the only manual labor they've done in 10 years.
Picking up dog shit is the only manual labor available in the CBD.
Yeah.
For knowledge workers.
That's correct.
For people on swivel chairs all day.
Yeah. They need it. That's why sometimes you see people in business suits just walking around picking up dog shit and there's no dog.
Yeah, it's not theirs. They put a sign in my dog park saying must have a dog.
Yeah.
To enter because there was just a guy picking up shit.
Yeah.
Just to get that release.
Yeah.
Of being like, oh, I'm connected to the earth.
Yeah, he's denying other people the opportunity if he's running around picking up other people's dog shit. You know what I mean? Like they need it.
Well, it's the one thing during your day that's like, oh, I'm in reality.
Yeah.
Because you're going from screen to screen and then like, it's literally like, it's almost like a traumatic return to reality.
Right.
But that you need it. You're like, this came out of an ass. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're dealing with like Ethereum, literally ethereal money. And like, and then you're like, no, I'm going to get a plastic and I'm going to get my hand as close to shit as possible.
They need it.
with a thin veneer.
Yeah. That's a very humbling. I could see a government ad where it's like, don't pick up other people's shit. They need it.
Yeah.
Like a mental health ad,
Yeah, totally.
you know? Like
Don't deprive people of the one chance to connect to the earth.
Today
Okay?
people are more alone and disconnected. Don't pick up other people's shit.
Don't be a bloody idiot.
Don't be a bloody idiot.
Pick up your own dog shit and limit it to that.
It's a weird wording. Pick up your own dog shit and limit it to that.
Other people want to pick up their own dog shit. There's limited supplies of dog shit on the ground.
Yeah. Don't be a bloody idiot.
That's why, like, you know, I feel like, you know, you'd see like a brickies labourer, they wouldn't pick up the shit.
Exactly.
Because they're like, I've been laying bricks all day. My dog's laying a brick now.
I'll leave that for Martin.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to deprive.
I'll leave that for Martin from accounts.
Yeah, I don't want to deprive Martin of his one chance to feel,
Yeah, well, you know, in a factory setting where there's the office worker and then the factory worker, they go out together walking their dogs, and the working factory guy's dog does a shit, and he's like, you can have that one if you like. He's like, cheers.
Right, it's like buying someone a drink.
Yeah.
It's like, here you go.
Yeah.
No, you enjoy it.
You're welcome.
You enjoy it. You enjoy that feeling of like responsible wholesomeness, connecting to the earth. Like,
yeah, you wouldn't want to, you know, be weird to see people in businesses running to pick up people's dog shit. Like, leave it alone. I want to do it. You know, squabbling over it.
That'd be crazy to go to the dog park. There's people like punching each other in the face because he picked up my dog's shit. You know,
I need this.
That's my intimate relationship with the shit.
Yeah. As soon as inner city people move into a place, you know, gentrification's coming. Or artists anyway.
Well, as soon as the shit picker-uppers come into the neighbourhood, you know, the rental prices are about to go through the roof.
That's 100% true.
Like, there'd be neighbourhoods covered in dog shit, and then, like, a sculptor would move in, and you'd be like, oh, here we go.
Uh-oh.
Here's the gateway drug to gentrification.
Right. I see what you mean.
I feel like the left is always like, support the arts. But then, like, there's nothing more dangerous to a working class neighbourhood than a struggling artist moving in.
Right. Because you know what comes next.
Yeah, the gastropubs.
Yeah, expensive cafe.
Yeah, the piccolos.
Yeah, that's what's coming. So really working class people see like an artist practicing their guitar or whatever. If they're smart, they'll bash them.
Yes.
To warn them away.
Well, get in early. Because at least when a landlord hikes your rent up, he's wearing like a top hat and a monocle. You know what I mean? He's like, I'm going to send the rent up.
Yeah.
But if like a struggling artist moves in, it's like getting an eviction notice, but in the form of interpretive dance.
Right.
They're like, I'm doing this. And it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like you get the eviction notice. It's like a poem.
Yeah.
It's like, you have to go.
My lord, my lord. You know,
to get whimsically evicted.
Yeah.
To be evicted by whimsy.
You didn't realize that interpretive dance or that artist that paints with their body by rolling around on the floor in paint doing avant-garde art. Yeah,
would attract a hedge fund manager like a moth to a flame.
Exactly.
Because they're like, oh, interesting neighborhood. Because, the hedge fund guy's like sort of basic, but he's like, I think there's art there and I'm going to move in.
This is cool.
Yeah.
Next thing you know.
We're going to turn the local warehouse into a microbrewery.
Yeah, it's like, uh-oh.
The forklifts are going to be like ironically used to serve craft beer.
You know what's next? Housing price spike.
Well, I think when a struggling artist moves into a neighborhood, they should have to door knock. Like, I'm a sculptor. I've moved
like a
in.
pedophile.
Yeah. But at least a pedophile brings the rent prices down.
You
know what I mean?
Yeah, I never thought of it like
it's $100 cheaper.
Yeah. It's like there's a pedophile in
Dennis
this neighborhood.
Ferguson lives down the road.
Yeah.
But like a sculptor moves in.
It'd be good if you get a
far
famous,
more threatening.
You get a famous pedophile.
Yeah.
Then you're really lowering housing prices.
Like Rolf Harris or whatever.
Yeah, Rolf Harris lives in this neighborhood, so yeah, rent's halved. It's like, thanks, Ralph.
Yeah,
But then you get the bass player from your local band.
Yeah.
It's like, get out. You didn't tell. You meant you have to. I'm going to tell the police. You meant to have told us.
Yeah,
that you're going to be practicing in your garage.
Yeah, there's a spoken word guy in the park.
Mm.
We got to get rid of him.
Yeah.
He's doing spoken word, like poetry, like
Mm.
just, yeah, he's fucking everything up for us. It's like a time-lapsed eviction notice.
Yeah.
Like, it'll take a few years, but
It's coming.
you're going to be leaving soon.
Yeah. Can't you see the guy in the penny farthing bike?
Yeah.
You know, out the front there, who's riding to rehearsals?
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
That's the death knell of your accommodation.
Yeah.
Right here.
Mm-hmm. You know what I was watching, I forget which one it was. That, you know, those apocalypse movies where like the whole world flips
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or whatever.
Like Moonfall or whatever.
Yeah.
The moon will be falling out.
The moon's falling again.
Oh, the moon's falling again. No. They're always like that.
Yeah. Not again.
It's
Not
out of
like
its
this.
orbit again, remember? The moon.
Every 100 years, the Mayans predicted it. Every time it's the same. Like the same formula. There's like a family.
Yeah.
And there's the hot wife and the stepdad and the kids. And then there's the real dad.
Yeah.
And he's like disheveled, possibly an alcoholic, but recovering, but he's fun and wild and the kids laugh at him. And then the stepdad is like the nerdy straight edge, but makes lots of money, and the wife left him because it's more reliable. Like that is the most common Hollywood trope.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, because every apocalyptic movie has a stepdad in it.
Mm.
And I'm like, what is the causal relationship between a stepdad and the apocalypse?
Yeah.
Like, I can't link it up. I'm like, is the stepdad's causing the moon's
Right.
orbit to go out?
Like, is that why
Is it just some weird connection?
The more the stepdads reach a certain number, and then the axis of the world switch or whatever that one was?
Yeah, like it goes off kilter from the stepdads for some reason.
Or they attract asteroids.
Yeah, stepdads attract asteroids. I mean, I just don't know what's going on in the writer's room for these apocalyptic films.
Yeah.
They're like, we'll have a stepdad, and it's like, again?
Yeah.
What's going on with this?
Why not just a regular dad?
I think it's just, it's for the dad to shine.
Right.
The
Because
real-
without the stepdad, there's no where for him to go.
the
he can't-
stepdad's always a good guy, but he's like,
Mm.
he's so rich and
He doesn't get
detached
it.
from it all.
But then this actual dad cheated on the mum and so on, disheveled,
Alcoholic, addicted to
gambling,
Oxycontin.
but he's funny.
Yeah, he's like, for some reason, even though he's at his absolute worst. Like, because when the movie starts, he always wakes up, like, covered in, like, pizza and stuff.
Yeah.
You know that first scene where he's, like, drunk, like, he's been out clubbing.
Mm.
He's, like, 52.
Mm-hmm.
But then for some reason, like, even though the stepdad is, like, peaking,
Mm.
you know, he'll be, like, the richest plastic surgeon or whatever.
Right.
You know, it's always so successful.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, the golf is so big.
Right.
Maybe that's what it is. It's like, let's make the gulf so big between these two characters.
That we want to watch the guy struggle.
The underdog.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
Which
yeah.
makes no sense at all, because surely the plastic surgeon guy would be better equipped mentally to deal with an asteroid.
Right, but it's always the disheveled underdog dad
Who's never worked.
who doesn't know what's going on and has ruined his life.
Can't get a job at Starbucks.
But he's the one who flies the plane successfully while the other guy accidentally falls out the back.
I know, it doesn't make any sense because it'll be like literally like one of the jobs was like the stepdad was like an orthopedic surgeon, which
Right.
means he fixes spinal columns.
Right.
But for some reason, when the plane part happens,
Yeah.
the alcoholic on Xanax
Mm.
knows how to fly. It
Yeah.
like just off the tip of a mountain.
Yeah.
But the orthopedic surgeon's like, oh, I can't. Like he's almost running away. He's like, I'll leave you here. Like he's
Yeah.
gonna run off.
I can't deal with this. Unlike I dealing with like high pressure surgery where someone's life's at risk, which is how I made my living
Yeah.
through hyper intelligent, incredibly high pressure,
Multi-millionaire, ambitious,
top percentile success
hugely
rate.
driven.
No, but the gambling alcoholic will save you.
The guy with a brain injury because he's
Yeah.
been drinking for so many years.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what day it is oftentimes.
The guy who betrayed you earlier in life, remember? That's why you ended up with me. He's come good.
He's good at steering light aircraft. I think that's the skill that you
Yeah.
need is like have a light aircraft that you just managed to get.
From when he was trafficking drugs to Colombia.
Yeah, maybe that's
learnt-
what it is.
Mm,
And then the stepdad always dies like in a snowfield or whatever.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they leave him behind. He's like, no, like I'm too weak.
It's like, let him go.
Yeah. I remember one day they were like, where's Steve or whatever? Where's John or whatever the guy's stepdad? And then the wife was like, he's dead.
They didn't even bother. They couldn't even be bothered to.
And then the real dad was like, oh.
Anyway,
really?
Yeah, like he's
Yeah, then they
disappointed.
moved on.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't even, he wasn't, he was just like,
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
well, the moon's fine now. So,
Yeah, I guess we can get back together.
yeah.
That's the moment.
It's the ultimate like reconciliation.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, now he's out of the picture.
Yeah, your bravery has cancelled out your infidelity.
I hope you don't fall back into the old habits of drinking till 4 a.m. and sleeping with waitresses, because that would suck.
Yeah, it's like I hope that saving the world has changed you now that you're a hero with an ego problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
This will help.
Yep. No. This won't put things more out of kilter or whatever.
Yeah, now that the moon's orbit's back on, you're the orbit that's out, you know. Your ego's off the hook, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Save the world. That's what an alcoholic, gambling addict, degenerate who's been alone for so long, that's what he needs to bring him back into sync, is saving the world. That'll help.
Is that what the movie's all about as well? It's like the person in the audience wants to relate to it.
Mm.
They're like, that's like me.
Struggling.
They're like, I'm a philandering degenerate was addicted to OxyContin.
Mm. Yeah.
Like,
you think there's a big enough audience for that, for Hollywood to be like, we need to tap into
irrelevant men. Don't you reckon that's the market share for those films?
Yeah.
It's like a guy that's like, I'm irrelevant. I've been fired from Target.
Yeah, now the world's ending. Now's my chance to prove myself.
Yeah, it's like, because you always envisage yourself as the protagonist.
Right, yeah.
And everyone knows, like, the orthopedic surgeon that's cuckolded them or whatever.
Yeah, the equivalent.
Yeah.
Right. So you just think Hollywood's tapping into irrelevant men?
They're just like, we want the world to end, and we want irrelevant men to enjoy it. And they're like, how do we do that? And then they're like, stepdad, they do that. Like right. That's going to be.
Yeah. What's the formula to get the irrelevant men demographic?
Yeah.
And the end of the world chaos.
Yeah, because they're like, there's more irrelevant men than ever. They go to men's sheds. You know those men's sheds where depressed men in their 50s like whittle wood?
Yeah.
I think it backfired because some guy made a noose at one of the workshops.
Yeah.
Like one makes a stool, one makes a noose, and they tag team it.
Yeah. They're like, oh, this is actually just giving them equipment. Do you know what I mean?
Giving irrelevant men equipment.
Yeah. Don't give irrelevant men equipment. If we've learned anything from society.
Take away the equipment.
Yeah. That's what they did in Australia.
Put him in a padded cell.
They took away the equipment of the guy who did Port Arthur.
Yeah. His equipment was confiscated.
Being guns. Irrelevant men with equipment is just gun laws, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what it should be called.
Yeah, we want to pass another bill for irrelevant men and equipment.
An irrelevant man with equipment is the most dangerous thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Could be a truck, anything, you know?
Totally.
Well, I guess that's it. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Let us know what you think, as always. And there was more to come. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, thank you. This is, what a studio.
What a beautiful time.
It's good to be zooming
in. And thanks so much. And we'll see you again next time. Goodbye. Do people say goodbye, like with the cameras and shit? I've never really watched.
If they can edit that in.
Yeah. Just edit in images of us.
We can edit this all out.
Yeah, we can edit out this episode.
Yeah. We edited out the episode.
Yeah, it's just this ending.
Yeah.
So thanks.
Endings are hard.